Hey, seventh grade. We are starting a new unit on probability today. You're going to need to be able to describe the probability of an event occurring using words as well as values. Could be a fraction, could be a decimal, even a percent. Here's your note sheet for today. The top box gives you some examples of different things that can be rated based on the chances of it happening. So we think about an impossible chance, like can never happen, is like 0. Whereas certain, on the opposite side of the number line, is like basically 1 whole, or is a percent, like 100%. So as we go through some of these examples, you want to relate it to both the words and a numerical value. So the first one says it will get dark tonight. See, they put A there, right? That's certain. It's going to happen no matter what. When I toss a coin, it will land showing heads. Well, a coin is a 50-50 chance of heads or tails. So that means it goes in the middle, right? So we could use like 1/2 or 50%. And then the last one is C, Abraham Lincoln will come for lunch. Well, he's passed away, so that's impossible. All right, let's try this one together, and then maybe have some time to think about the others and see if you know where the events will go. Snow will fall in August. Well, in certain locations that can happen, but we'll say here in North Carolina, that's a pretty poor chance. So we're going to put that there for A. The sun will come up tomorrow. That's a certain chance. Even if it's cloudy, the sun is still in the sky. A new baby will be a boy. Well, it's either boy or girl, even chance, so that's going to be in the middle, C. A dog will speak English. Well, he can bark, but he's not going to speak English, so that is impossible. And I will watch some television tonight. That's probably pretty likely for most of us to at least turn on the TV for a little bit, so that's a good chance. All right, so we got our values there, and you can see the descriptors, right? Poor chance and good chance. So come back up to the original up here and think about what percent or fraction you would put in between poor chance, which for us is snow will fall in August, in between 0 and 1/2. Think about what would go there. Okay, if you were thinking 1/4 or 25%, you are on the right track with your thinking. Good chance, watching some television tonight. Think about what would go there. Okay, if you were thinking 3/4 or 75%, you are on the right track. All right, let's try the next one below. So it says mark each event on the probability number line. So we're trying to put these values here. 7th grade loves to use a dice. That's a classic example. So when we think about a dice, just a regular standard dice, we know that it has one side with each number 1 through 6. So go ahead and list out the numbers so we can refer to that. Okay, we call this actually, you'll need to know this later, our sample space. So it's all the things that could potentially happen. All right, letter A, I will roll a 6 on a number cube. All right, well, a 6 is only one side. So it could happen, but pretty poor chance if I'm just doing one roll. I will not roll a 6. Well, that includes all the other numbers that are not 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the chance of that happening is a pretty good chance. I will roll a number between 1 and 6 on the number cube. Well, those are the only options possible. So it's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So that is certain. I will roll a 7 on a number cube. Well, there's no 7 on a standard dice, so that is impossible. I will roll a 1, a 2, or a 3 on a number cube. Okay, the answer's obvious, of course, it's got to be in the middle, but think about why. What are the other things that could happen? Well, if I don't get a 1, 2, or 3, I'm going to get a 4, 5, or a 6. So this represents 3 out of 6 on the number cube, or a 1/2 chance. And the same thing with these, 1, 2, or 3 is also a 3 out of 6, or a 1/2 chance. Okay, if you're able to pause the video here and try the last one, please do so. All right, let's check and see how you match the answers. I will drink something today. Okay, well, hopefully you will be drinking something today. Our bodies require that, right? So we have to drink some type of liquid or water every day. So that's going to be a certain chance. If I drop my book, it will fall face down. All right, well, the options are either face down or face up. So one of those two options, so that's kind of like a 50-50 chance. So that's going to be B. Kind of like the coin, heads or tails. The next book I read will have exactly 100 pages. Exactly. Now there's probably tons of books that have 100 pages, but going into a library and just choosing one off the shelf that has that exact number is a pretty poor chance. Could happen, but it takes some digging to get a book that's exactly 100 pages. It will rain orange juice tomorrow. Yeah, that's just silly. Not going to happen. Impossible. And I will see a white car today. Pretty good chance, right? That's a pretty popular car color. But there's a chance that it might not pass by, or if you're not in a place where there's a lot of cars, you might not see a white car today. So these are the best answers. Okay, sometimes with probability there might be some discussion or debate about something. So be open to that. It's a little different. Not every answer is going to be 100% the same for all. So you have to be open to discussing some events. All right, look at your puzzle for the day. That is King's birthday. I want to help you just a little bit on the puzzle and make sure that you have some good answers going. So the top of the puzzle is using this spinner, like the chances of, in this case, spinning red. So red is 1 out of, count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/5. Okay, now you will have to reuse letters. So 1/5 is T, so we're going to put that for 1. But again, don't cross it out because you'll have to use it more than one time. For example, green is also a 1 out of 5 chance. So number 2 is also T. Okay, let me pick one that is going to require you to possibly simplify. Let's see, well, those are going to be down here. Let me do one more on this part. All right, how about not yellow? Not yellow, so that would be blue, green, white, or red. So 4 out of 5 chance. So that's I up here for number 4. Okay, and the word or just means I'm okay with either or color. So blue or white would be a 2 out of 5 chance. So that's S for number 3. Okay, all right, let me skip down to some of the word problems that might require us to do a little bit more simplifying. Look at number 20. A class of 25 students has 15 girls and 10 boys. If one student is chosen at random, what is the probability that it is a girl? So you've got to think part to whole relationship. 15 girls out of the total. So the total includes the boys and the girls. Okay, now think about a number that I could divide both of them by. Biggest number that goes into both. Okay, if you were thinking 5, you're on the right track, so divide both by 5. And we will have 3 over 5, or 3/5. So that's going to be letter N for 20. All right, let's try 21 as well. 21 I tend to get a lot of questions about. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. What is the probability that a letter chosen at random is in the word mathematics? Well, one thing you gotta watch for with probability is making sure that you don't do double counting, counting something more than one time. That shouldn't be double counted. So for example, there's only one M in the alphabet, right? So we have 2 M's, so only one of them count. Same thing, I see 2 A's, right? 2 T's. Let's see, and I think that might be all of our double counts. So M-A-T-H-E-I-C and S. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 letters, unique letters out of 26. Now again, you're going to have to simplify, which I know your calculator will help you with, but let's just see, can you think of a number that goes into both? Okay, if you're thinking 2, you are on the right track. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 26 divided by 2 is 13. So 4/13, that's letter P on 21. All right, your job today is to try to work on this puzzle, and then there's another activity on the back with a candy box. So try to get both of the sides complete today, and do a great job.